Welcome back to another video, and in this video I want to talk about two things, two laws. These are Murphy's Law number 1 and Murphy's Law number 2. Let's start with Murphy's Law number 1. Murphy's Law number 1 says anything that could go wrong in life and in anything will go wrong. Let me explain. I know this is something that a lot of people share, the fear and the anxiety of losing a job. What's crazy is that 70% of Americans do not have $1,000 saved in their account right now, which means that if you lose your job, you don't have enough money to meet your rent for February. Even for January, you're already behind. Some people that are currently working right now don't even have enough money to survive until the end of this month. This is real talk. So what happens when you lose your job? Pretty obvious, isn't it? There's a cascading effect that will come for your house, or they'll evict you if you're a tenant. If you have a mortgage, you're going to fall behind on your mortgage, and then they're going to start taxing on late fees. Same thing with your rent. If you're late on your rent, they'll start tagging on late fees, which means that you have to pay even more money. So it's a cascading effect. All these things that will go wrong will go wrong. What else? You have a credit card bill. That's another headache. Your phone bill, that's another headache. Your light bill, that's another headache. With the economy the way it's looking right now, where everything is sky high and expensive, it just takes 3 bills to wipe you out. And I'm not talking about big bills. I'm talking about your car insurance, your phone bill, and gas. That's enough to wipe your savings away. Statistically speaking, that's 7 out of 10 of us. And for those of you who are married, a lot of the times we hear that people get divorced because of infidelity. That's not true. The number 1 cause of divorces in America is financial insecurity. If you want to see how your spouse really truly is, tell them you lost your job or you're going broke. See how they behave. You're going to see the real person. If that person is supportive, then you know you made the right decision, you married the right person. But if the person switches up on you, it's only a matter of time. You're on the clock now. It's only a matter of time until they abandon you. Just keeping it real. Immigrants can relate to this. If you're from Europe, Asia, Caribbean, Africa, God forbid you get news from back home that somebody that's dear to you has passed on and you need to attend a funeral. Can you afford to do that on the amount of money you have right now? Last minute airline tickets, especially if you're going to Africa, are crazy expensive. Not only that, you need money once you get there to deal with all these issues, contributing to funerals and all this stuff, and you still got bills back home. So it's a nightmare that starts to unfold just because of one incident of losing a job. This is why people are so stressed out right now, because they know they could be next on the chopping block. Skid Row is full of people that were unfortunate not to have a good support system. And these are people just like me and you. They're no different from me and you. Some of these guys have PhDs, but they're on the streets. All because Murphy's Law, number 1. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And I know you guys can relate to this. Sometimes when you're going through it, you'll find that, let's say for example, you were late on the bill, or maybe you're late on your rent, and then your car starts acting up. And then that's an $800 bill. That'll wipe you out and gives you sleepless nights and anxieties. It's pretty terrifying. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, that kind of stress. Health emergencies. What happens if you get hurt in the job? Let's say you have one of those dangerous jobs. What happens if you get injured? And God forbid that health bill, the hospital bill is going to be insane. Can you afford it? Even with insurance, we're finding out people can't afford health care right now. Statistically speaking, that's 70% of us, 7 out of 10. Murphy's Law number 2, nothing is ever as easy as it looks. We are discovering now, and I think a lot of people are waking up to this reality, that what they've been taught for a long time is a lie. What do I mean? Let's start. Go to school, go get into debt to get a degree you don't really need, to get a job, which is not secure anymore, because they can just fire you at any time, and take on more debt to get married, have a fancy wedding, take on more debt, credit card debt, to buy things that you don't need to impress people you don't even like, to impress them. Who are they? Now you're struggling. Why? That's not easy. Why were we sold this lie? And why do we just accept this lie? It's like sleepwalking through life, no? That's how I see it. Because they told us that's what we should do. But nothing is ever as easy as it looks. So, if that life is difficult, you might as well build something that is more secure, that is equally as difficult, no? Like starting a business. It's just pure logic to me. If you're gonna bust your butt to work for somebody, show up on time, do all the necessary things they tell you to do, that is hard. It's not easy at all. Imagine if you could translate all that effort and all that time into starting your own business. At the end of it, you will have something that nobody can take away from you. Even starting a business is not as easy as it looks either. So both options are equally difficult. So why not pick the option that's going to yield better results in the long term? Why? Because we are lazy. Intrinsically, we are lazy and we are cowards. A paycheck is what they pay you to forget your dreams. They're paying you for time you'll never get back. Before you know it, you're waking up at 50, 60 with nothing to show for it but a layoff pink slip. I think they'll remember you once you've left that job, even if you quit. You think they're going to remember you? They'll replace you by next week. They'll replace you in a week. You're a coward because you don't think you can do it. I talk to a lot of people that tell me they can't do sales. My question is, you sold yourself to your current employer, didn't you? During the interview process, didn't you sell yourself? Didn't you say you were the right person for the job? Obviously you did. That's why you have that job. Because you were able to convince that employer that you could do the job. That's sales. So you're lying if you say you don't know how to sell. Don't sell yourself short in 2024. Start that business. Take that chance. It's worth it in the long term. Don't think about short term. That paycheck every 2 weeks is short term. It's short term thinking. It's time to think long term in 2024. That's the challenge. You got to think, where do I want to be in 10 years? What do I want to be in 5 years? It should be so tangible. That dream should be so tangible. You can taste it. You need to obsess over it. And it starts with the mind. It's a mindset thing. The mind is a very powerful thing. It's like this. It's like a glass of water. If your mind is full of negativity, bad ideas and bad thoughts, you need to empty it so you can leave room for the positive stuff. What is the positive stuff? Consuming positive content. Staying away from social media, because what happens is when you get on social media, you start to consume all this, especially TikTok, it's very negative. You start to consume all these videos about people getting laid off, people getting evicted, people getting divorces, and then in your mind you're going to be focused on that, thinking, what, am I next? Am I next? Am I next? I know you're thinking about that right now. Instead, you need to fill it up with all the positivity. There are thousands of videos on YouTube about mindset. Watch those instead of TikTok. Plenty of books on how to start a business. Read those. I hope you got some value from this video. If you're ready in 2024 to go all in, all out, and start your home care business, let's talk. I know you have questions about how to get a license, how do you do basic things like set up your systems and processes in your business. Let's talk. I'll put a link to my calendar in the description of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.